Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your second Q&A for this week, leading up to the second last episode of The Walking Dead Season 7, which is episode 15, Something They Need. In this one, spoiler warning, we're going to start with giving our thoughts on whether or not we think Sasha will survive. And I'll try to keep it non-spoilery for the title anyway, could she survive? So we'll keep it kind of vague for that, for people that haven't seen the episode yet. But I think a lot of us kind of knew something like this was happening. You could kind of see it going down. Did the predictions video last week and did a death predictions video before this half even started, giving our thoughts on Sonequa Martin Green's character Sasha in the Walking Dead TV series. Nothing has really changed. For a second there, I thought maybe they'd go with Rosita because they just gave Rosita so much time this year, but it seems like season 7 is Rosita's year. I mean, she has probably as much time or as much of a concentration as a character as anybody else in the show. Maybe the most of season 7, really, if you look at it episode to episode. And I'm not complaining. I think it's been good. But with Sasha, she hasn't had as much time except for just recently. But I feel like it caught us up pretty good with kind of the flashbacks and the montage and all that. We kind of got a good grasp or a good idea of what she's been up to. And then we see this part all go down in episode 14. So, of course, the question is, what do we think is going to happen with Sasha now? It looks like she's probably going to get captured. And as we're assuming, you know, probably not going to kill Negan, probably not going to get Negan. And also, if you watch the episode, like, even if you had no understanding or knowledge of the comics and who Negan is and, you know, how long he's going to be around for and how big of a character he is in the season, in the series, even if you had no understanding of all of that, she's going in by herself. The saviors are stacked. They have so many guys. She doesn't even know 100% like where Negan's quarters are, I don't think. She doesn't have a full understanding of where Negan would be at that time. So she's kind of going in blind. I mean, it's pretty reckless if you think about it. Yes, she has had Jesus kind of give her some kind of diagram of what it looks like and everything, so she has an idea. But, you know, their plan to kind of go in like that and not, you know, wait it out and try to see, or maybe come back to that same spot and see if they can get a sniper shot off. It's a bit reckless for sure. I mean, again, you go in, you don't know exactly where Negan is at that time. You have no idea. You know, you charge in and everything, and so it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, in the next couple episodes, we get to see that side of things after she goes in the door and how that all shakes down, because that would be really exciting. I don't think they will show it to us, but so we probably won't get to see that, but we'll probably see the ramifications of her going in and kind of her caught. There's a scene in the promo for episode 15 where you've got Negan and he's stone-faced. He's looking at somebody. He's looking kind of down at them. So I'm thinking that's probably Sasha, but we'll see. I mean, it's possible it could be somebody else. It looks like Sasha to me, though. So as such, we're assuming she got caught. We're assuming she's alive at that time. But for how long, and could she actually survive it out, kind of like Daryl did, where he was captured and then he kind of got away? After what she did, I tend to think that there's pretty much no way. And also, there is a comic book character that goes through a similar type of circumstances, and she doesn't make it. She doesn't survive. So, I mean, I'm thinking for Sasha, she's probably not going to survive. The odds of her getting out of this one alive are probably pretty low. It is possible we could see them do a remix, and I actually like it when they kind of mess with us, where they do something where it looks like they're doing something close to the comics, but with a character and remixing it, but then they actually don't, and then they go a different direction with it. I actually kind of like it when they do that, because then we're predicting something to happen, and then they don't do that, and it goes some other way. It's kind of like they kind of took our bluff, or they kind of bluffed, and then they kind of, you know, went the other direction, and they caught us. So it doesn't look like that to me. It doesn't look like this is that sophisticated. It looks like we're seeing that event play out, and Sasha will probably die before the finale, and we'll probably see it in the finale as well. What I'm thinking. Of course, also because Sonequa Martin Green was cast in the Star Trek series, and there was an article about her and her husband, I think, dancing in the aisles or something like that. I covered it back in the first half before the second half started. And that type of behavior where you're acting like you're happy, like you're acting like you're having a great time, again, it's showing the opposite. People do this a lot. It's kind of like trying to convince yourself that you can still. It's kind of like you're overdoing it to try to feel the other way. Maybe her being actually sad that, of course, if she got killed off of the show, obviously she would be sad. But to try to act like it's not going to faze her and try to act like she's still happy and everything, based on the article and what I read, it sounds like that's kind of the idea of what was going on. So to me, psychologically, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that probably she does get killed off in the finale, and which is kind of sad, because Sasha is a good character, and in a way, she does kind of save Rosita in this case, kind of sacrifice herself to save her, and doesn't accomplish what they set out to do. So, yeah, but you guys can write your comments below. Of course, none of this is 100% confirmed. It's not, spoilers per se. This is just based on articles, casting, and the comic book series and what we've read from there. If you have read it, so. As far as could Sasha get out of there alive? I don't think so. Wick3d Id3as says, do you think instead of killing Sasha, Negan uses her to find out where she came from, something like bait? Well, I think he will use her to try to get information, to try to find out what's going on, because it looks to me like she has been captured alive, and that, like she said, they can't catch us alive. I think they're going to catch her alive, actually, and I think they're going to take her down, and, Negan's going to question her for sure. After that, do I think she's going to get out of this whole situation alive and survive all at war? I don't think so. I'd like to see it, but I just don't think so. Could he use her as bait? Yeah, he could. He could use her as bait, and something like that we'll have to see in this finale. It could be a great sequence for the finale, though, for sure. Evan Waters says, be a sniper, go in, unit, fail. So I want to get my thoughts on this one. So, of course, it's a TV episode, so it has to be exciting. So they have them go in. And Rosita, well, for Rosita, too, she doesn't want to wait, and that's how Rosita's going to do things. She doesn't care if she lives or dies at this point. She really doesn't. She's already tried it before once anyway, and she cared for Spencer, too. Negan has now killed two of her, well, one that she really did care for, and another that she might have cared for a little bit was Spencer, at least a little bit. And, maybe not as much as Abraham, obviously, but a little bit, and killed him too. So now she obviously, is not going to rest until she tries to, does everything in her power to kill Negan. But at the same time, if you're talking in terms of probability and what would be the best way to go, when Eugene calls people to go and check the buildings, the best course of action may have actually been for them to get out of there for a bit, come back the next day and wait again, and just hang out. I mean, stake out, sit there all day and wait. And next time Negan opens that door, be ready on that scope and take that shot right away. Aim for, heart or head, whatever. If you can't do the head because Negan's so leaning back all the time and stuff, it's too hard to get a shot in the head, then whatever. Take your shot. Yes, he's got the doctor, so maybe the doctor could help him, but those are some big bullets, and if you hit him in the right spot, then there's going to be nothing the doctor can do. So that would have been the smartest way to go, and the best way to go is to take your time and wait it out. But they're consumed by rage at this point. They're emotional, and of course that's not good. We saw what happened with Daryl at the end of season 6 when he got emotional against Dwight, and Dwight was able to best him as a result. It's okay to be emotional, I suppose, in a fist fight. It's not good to be emotional when you're talking tactics in skirmishes and things like that, when you have guns and knives and everything. Even in a fight too, if you get too emotional, you might get reckless and you might put yourself open. If you start swinging for haymakers and stuff, a good fighter who's able to stay calm and relax and throw some pretty good jabs and stuff, you can make a case that it's even bad to get emotional if you're in a fight. If you get too emotional and you get overly aggressive and you take huge risks, I suppose. Hunter says, whoa, Trev, the main group attacking. I think that would move the plot along too quick for season 7. So that's for the finale. I mean, for the finale, I'm expecting to see something between the Saviors and Rick's main group. So I'm looking to see something with Sasha, something with Rick and the others attacking, and some kind of skirmish here in the finale. That's what I'm thinking. Will it be a definitive battle? Like, will we see all-out war by the end of the season finish? No, of course not. But some kind of battle here. Maybe they recover Sasha dead or whatever, and Rick and the group kill a bunch of Saviors in the process, and Negan and the others are forced to retreat or something, or a bunch of zombies come in and stop it. Something like that. But either way, it should be really exciting. It should be a great finale episode. So we'll see. I mean, Season 7, 13, and 14, I feel like they're fixing the season up pretty good. We're getting some really good stuff here near the end. I wasn't let down at all. I know some of you guys still didn't like it, and that's okay. I did. Kelsey Waffle says, Trev, do you think Eugene's suicide pills will come into play during the final 2 episodes? If so, what do you think might happen with the pills? I feel like he made them for a reason, and they will likely come back up in the show. So thanks, Kelsey. It's a great, great question. And by the way, I should say now, if you guys haven't seen my review yet, if you haven't seen my predictions, my review of episode 14, predictions for 15, and who it is that Rosita sees, I did a video on that too, giving my thoughts on whether or not it be Dwight or Daryl. Those are all on the channel as of last night. I posted all 3 of those last night. So check those out if you guys haven't seen them yet. I'll put them in the video. At the end of this video, you'll see them in the end screen. But great question from Kelsey. And as far as the pills go, Episode 11. So episode 11 is such a setup episode. Almost the entire episode is setup, where by itself, it's not an eventful episode. But all these little things that you're seeing set up in this episode are now coming into play big time. And I love that because, it reinstills my faith in Gimple. I already kind of had faith in Gimple and the Walking Dead team as it is. And usually when they include things, they come back to it later. There's very few things that they throw in there that they don't use at some point or don't have some kind of meaning and are just to fill it out without substance. I mean, they have filled out the season a lot, don't get me wrong, but I feel like most of it has substance to it, and they stretch the Walking Dead comic book storyline. But a lot of the stuff I'm saying that we saw in these episodes build up, for example, Morgan in the Kingdom. There was a lot of stuff in earlier episodes that was like, this isn't that exciting, this episode's not that good, but then we see episode 13 and it's like, oh man, I guess we needed those episodes to get a really great one, like 13 and 14 in some ways too. So the suicide pills, will we see them again? Do they have a purpose? I think so. I don't think we've seen the end of those. And a good prediction might be, could Sasha get one of the suicide pills? Could Eugene, sneak one in, roll one under the door, and slip a note in and say, just take this, end it. If they torture her or something, or they start getting into that, Eugene may help her out, may give her the ability to opt out. And so I know that's sad and everything, but it's a great call out that you mentioned that because we haven't heard it mentioned again, and it was probably there for a reason. And I think Eugene, even though he's too scared to defy Negan, he still is a survivor in a lot of ways, and he might take a chance there and at least give her that so that she can end it if she's going through a lot of pain, if they're beating her up or something. Which even me saying that sounds so brutal, right? It's like, but what do you think they're going to do? I mean, she just she killed a few of them, and she's in there now, and yeah, so it's not looking good. So I think we could see her use the suicide pills. Eugene use suicide, maybe give her one. Last one will be from Polka626, who said, Trev, why make a video about this? I'm 95% sure it was Daryl. That guy looks like Daryl in the crossbow, and earlier Daryl asked where Rosita went. So this is exactly why I made a video on it. I even called you out on this in the comments. Maybe we'll do one more after this one. I wanted to include this just to say, like, dude, that's why. Don't you see? That's why I made a video on it. It's because you think it's Daryl, and I'm like positive it's Dwight. So now we got to discuss it, right? Why do you think it's Daryl? Why do I think it's Dwight? Let's feel this out and see who's right. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it is Daryl. But let's talk about it in that video. So check that video, guys, who it was, and you can leave your comments and vote on the poll. There's a poll going in it, so we can see one of the options is Morales. I just I had to put it in there. I had to. Is he winning right now? I'm not sure. But leave a poll vote in that video of who you guys think it is, so we can see who everyone thinks it is that Rosita sees. Last one from Deerhead, who says, Trev Q&A, do you think we could see a potential flashback or dream sequence with Abraham if Sasha is killed off in the finale? Man, that would be great. So what are we visualizing here? Are we visualizing Eugene slips a pill under the door, she takes the pill, she, we see her again, she's kind of going out of it, and she sees Abraham or something, he embraces her as she dies? That would be great, man. So we'll see if something like that happens. It sounds to me like, what we're seeing form, but we'll see. Always throw us through some kind of loop or something. It's hard to predict these things, but yeah, man, I hope we see Michael Cudlett's return for one scene. See, again, that would be something that, again, would elevate the season so that people aren't, so disappointed with the season. So I'm hoping to see something like that. And, man, really, really feeling it. 2 more episodes left. Check out those videos. You guys missed it, all 3 of those. And send me more questions for the Q&As. We'll get back at it tomorrow. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. If you're new and you want to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Subscribe at the bottom left and click the bell to turn on the notifications. That's it for this one, guys. See you tomorrow. And in those videos, Trev saying peace.